Hi there, TheNamesNiko. In this video, I'll show you how to beat the newest MoC, or Forgotten Hall, Dream Within a Dream, Stage 11. So for this stage, we have it so that after every attack launched by an ally, apply 1 stack of memory imprint to all allies. Allies in the memory imprint state deal 5% more damage. This effect stacks up to 6 stacks. When memory imprint reaches max stacks, immediately regenerate 25% energy for all allies. The energy regenerated by this effect can exceed the target's max energy. Remove all memory imprints from all allies at the start of every wave or cycle. So for this one, basically, anyone that wants energy, it's kind of counterintuitive for using Acheron because this effect does not work on her ult, but it's just Acheron, so you can ignore this. But anyone that wants to spam their ultimate like Urgenti is good in this type of Forgotten Hall. Not for this particular stage, unfortunately, because there's no physical weakness, but regardless, he's still good on other stages. Anyone that wants to spam their ultimate a lot is great. It's pretty much everyone in the game, to be honest. There's not really someone who doesn't want to spam their ultimate, except for maybe more so the defensive units. But even then, having your ult up as a backer in case you need to use it is still really good. So for the first side, we have Swarog as the main boss. We have the dinosaur or the T-Rex and the decaying shadow as the other mobs for this wave. They're all weak to fire, wind, and lightning. And for the second half, we have the abundant Ebondir with one of the newest mobs added this patch, the present inebriated and revelry, as well as the ice out of space mob. So all of them are weak to fire, and most of them are weak to quantum. And we have the present inebriated and revelry weak to imaginary physical, and the ice out in space also weak to wind. The deer is weak to ice as well. So there's kind of a lot of weakness types, but fire is the main one. So for team comp recommendations, as you can see, these are the teams I have used. I recommend a Kafka, Black Swan, Acheron team for first half. Gallagher is the best healer in this side, in my opinion, because all the enemies are weak to fire, and Gallagher has really high break effect, which allows you to break the enemies even faster, especially since they're all weak to fire. So Gallagher is also the recommended healer for this. If you don't have him, you can use... There's not any CCs to worry about really on the side, so you can use Bailu as well if you have her. Really any healer or even shielder work. Japar, Venturine. Venturine doesn't really synergize with this team, but you know what I mean. You can just kind of use anything for healer. If you don't have Black Swan, you can use Sampo if you're going to do a Kafka team. Sampo is going to be really good as well, just because he can break real quick. Just the Sampo's pretty much just the replacement for Black Swan. And Acheron, other team recommendations would be Jing Yuan Blade, dual DPS setup with Ruan Mai, and then your choice of healer would be a good option. You could also do Jing Yuan hypercarry. You probably could do Blade hypercarry as well. I don't have Jing Yuan or Blade, so I cannot test them. You could do a mono fire, but in terms of mono fire, I honestly would recommend that more for the second side than the first side, just because the weakness types are a lot more restricted on the second side compared to the first side. But you could technically do mono fire if you have a good mono quantum team, which I could use mono quantum here with a Seele. I don't have Sparkle, unfortunately, so I'd use Bronya or Tingyun, then Silver Wolf Xuan. But what I actually like to use for the deer specifically is Clara Topaz. Mainly Topaz is it's carrying this. Claire's just kind of here to help with the break of this mob here, the present inebriated and revelry, just because you kind of want this guy gone as fast as possible, because you can put all these dots on you and you're going to take a lot of damage from it. So Claire's just there to help clean up that. You could technically even do Dr. Ratio here and be fine, but With this team comp, it's pretty much all damage is on the Topaz. Again, I recommend you can do Mono Quantum. You can even do like Xueyi. I don't have her fully built yet. She is 80. I just haven't I don't have good quantum pieces for her. That's why I haven't really been using her. But you can also use Xueyi if you don't have Seele, or you can do Chinsei, or I hope I pronounced that correctly. I do apologize. Or it's just like QQ. Her, I don't have her leveled up at all, but I believe she's given away for free actually. So you should have her. I could be mistaken on that fact, but I'm 70% sure that she's given away for free at some point. So that's another good choice. In terms of healers, I mean, I'm using Lynx, good quantum healer. Everyone has her. She's given away for free. Xuan is also a good option here as well. And Gallagher, but I recommend Gallagher more so if you're going to do Kafka first half, just because Gallagher can help apply some dots, which will allow you to get allow Kafka to do a bit more damage. That's all. If you're just doing Kafka, if you're doing Acheron, it also allows you to get more debuffs applied, which allows Acheron to get her stacks faster. It's not every basic attack he applies his dots, it's mainly when he gets his ultimate up. That's all. But still, faster debuffs, or more debuffs allows more damage, pretty much. And Robin and Topaz are both actually available for banner pulls right now. So if you're like new to the game, like the follow-up attack playstyle, you can pull for both of them. Especially since if you're like new, you should have enough pulls to actually pull for both characters. Because there's a lot of pulls in the game for new players. So yeah, now with this in mind, oh yeah, I also, if you don't have Robin, you can try using Silver Wolf, because I used to use Silver Wolf when Robin wasn't in the game, and I did try that there, but you're gonna get really close. It's gonna take you like 6 to 7 cycles with Silver Wolf, unfortunately, on this team. Or maybe it was possible I wasn't playing the team comp properly. I only have tried it a couple times, so, but it is still possible to use Silver Wolf instead of Robin. Topaz is kind of the staple of this team. You can't do side 2 without Topaz. I said other recommendation you can do is Mono Fire. Mono Fire would be Himeko, Topaz, Asta, Gallagher, and if you're gonna use Gallagher first half, just you can replace Gallagher, the healer, with again anything. Lynx is good, as the boss is weak to quantum and help with a little bit of quantum break. And you can use Bailu first half instead, and then do Gallagher second half. That's also completely fine. So yeah, with that, I'll give you like some suggestions I'll show you my stats, and the characters I mentioned, I'll give you some suggestions for what to build on them. So here's my stats for Acheron. I do have her light cone, just a S1, max traces. This is not really recommended, I just don't have good Pioneer sets, so I'm using a two-piece build. Not really want the speed here. This piece I have is just really good, and I haven't been able to get a replacement piece for it. That's really the reason why. E0, Kafka, not the best build. She's okay though. I'm at S5, good night, sleep well. Only 9s across the board. Ideally she should be at 10s. I'm on 4-piece lightning, 2-piece space stealing station. Recommended is actually what Black Swan has, which is the 2-piece prisoner, or 4-piece prisoner, sorry, and a 2-piece Glamoth, which because you need to have high speed on Kafka and Black Swan, so they both want the same thing. I just don't have 2 sets worth of pieces put on both of them, and my lightning pieces are honestly fine, not the best, but passable. E0, Black Swan, here's her stats. I also have her personal light cone, only 8s across the board. Again, she should be at 10s, because any of the dot characters should be at 10, because that's where most of their damage is from, and it actually increases damage significantly. These are the recommended pieces you should be: Prisoner and Glamoth, no constellations, and then Gallagher. I've just recently built break effects 111%. And here's, I'm using his personal 4-star light cone. Only 8s across the board, which is fine. And this set is honestly not that good for this team comp. I just don't have an alternative. For this team comp, you should be using the... Actually, I technically could switch them off. It doesn't really matter. What you should be using is... Where's it called? I can't think of the name of it. Not this one. This set. Fleet of Ageless you should be using on them, because on dot teams they don't care about anything but attack, so this will increase your allies attack by 8%. I could just switch it off for this because I'm actually not using, I'm using Robin. I'm not using Ruan Mai, so we'll just do a quick switch. For now, we'll take Ruan Mai's piece just to show you what it is. And I'll put him back on Ruan Mai after. Honestly, for this side, you could probably just do Ruan Mai, and you can probably just do enough damage, but even without Gallagher. But I'm just playing it more safe than sorry than have a healer. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. In terms of Eidolons, that's, yeah, there we go. Fleet of Ageless Eidolons. I have them at E4. I mean, just like E6 just makes them like a bit better at breaking, but it's fine. You don't technically need it. Obviously, as I'm using them, he's just a healer. Clara, decently built again. She's been my main carry since I started playing the game. And I have her personal light cone, maxed traces, 4-piece physical set, 2-piece inert cell Soto, and her Eidolon is at E2. You are going to play Clara a bit differently at E1 and E2. E1, if you don't have E1, you're going to basic attack every time, which is fine for this particular boss because there's not much AoE, and you're really trying to just focus down the guy on the right, the one that applies dots on him, the present, whatever. And for E2, you're gonna want to use your ultimate after you use your skill, because otherwise it will count a turn if you use it before you skill. It's a dumb mechanic in my opinion, but that's how it is. And so those are the two ways you'll be playing a bit differently if you don't have these. If you have these versus you don't have these, and your ultimate doesn't matter when you use it if you don't have E2 or higher. Now, Lynx is mainly just healer. You just want HP on her, speed. That's pretty much it. Some effect res, of course, if you're going to run Broken Keel. And I'm using the S5 of Natasha's 4-star light cone. And her trace is actually quite high, mainly just because of the whole event. We got a bunch of the whatever these are, the Flowers of Eternity, and I just put them on Lynx because I use Lynx a lot. Relics is the 2-piece messenger, 2-piece passerby with 2-piece broken keel. Again, this is like fine, and then she's E6 as well. Robin, you can see here, she's not even ideally built, mainly because I don't have an attack percent orb. You can see I'm using this random physical damage orb, not ideal. I'm using the Battle Pass light cone at S3 because I have not finished the newest event, the Dream Jolt event with Clocky. You should be using that light cone. It's free to play. Just finish the event, and you'll get the light cone at S5. To me, you've done everything. Use that light cone here instead. This is an alternative if you don't have that light cone. But this is a Battle Pass light cone. There's not really many good light cone options for her. You can just use meshing cogs otherwise, which is fine. Mainly because you want to increase her attack. You could also use Planetary Rendezvous with Clara, but in this team, it doesn't honestly matter because Clara's damage is kind of irrelevant. It's going to be all Topaz. Clara's here is just the proc Topaz's auto or follow-up. Clara is just here to proc Numby to do more damage. That is all. And I maxed her traces. You really want to max all 3 of her traces because she's buffing all your team's damage. I prioritize the skill because you're increasing damage dealt, but you want all of them. This is the least important one because she should be in her ultimate so often that you probably aren't going to be even auto attacking with her. I just get annoyed when it flashes at me. They'll be like, you can level it, so I level it up. You probably should not level it up. And yes, she wants 2-piece musketeer, 2-piece prisoner, because she wants the attack increase. And I'm just using Fleet of Aegis on her, just to increase attack. This is honestly good for Topaz, because Topaz is one of the lowest like base attacks for a hunt character in the game, and so you generally lack attack on Topaz compared to like crit damage, especially if you have E1, S1, which I do. So the attack boost is just very helpful in general. Otherwise, you can use Broken Keel here. That's also a fine option. Or if you're running mainly for Clara, then you would want to do what's this set called? The Panaconi set. This one, but not for this particular side. Otherwise, I've seen some people also recommend using Von Whack. I don't know if I even have any Von Whack pieces to like. I think I have no, I don't have a single Von Whack piece, but I've heard some people say Von Whack's fine. I'm not too sure myself. I have not confirmed it. I don't have any pieces to test it because it used to not be that good of a set to run, but I've heard some niche use cases for it. E0 as well. Topaz, if you're running this particular team comp, Topaz is the star of the show. As you can see, my attack is very low. It's about 2.2k. Otherwise, her ratios are actually really good. 87, 153. She's my probably my best built character. I have her personal light cone, as her light cone's one of the best light cones. I mean, for her to have, is especially if you're gonna pair her with Dr. Ratio, because her light cone applies a debuff on enemies, which allows your enemy let's say here. Yeah, it increases crit damage dealt to that target by 24% if you have 2 stacks, which you should have 2 stacks. Max traces, and she's on 4-piece Ash Blazing, 2-piece Inert Salsodo, and she's E2. E2, honestly, I don't notice it that much. Maybe I'm underestimating the value of E2, but it's mainly E1 is the more important one. You're gonna get 50% more crit damage, or increases crit damage by 50%, which is huge, and also applies another debuff if you're gonna run her with Dr. Ratio, which you can honestly just do Dr. Ratio for the side. It's not, you're not gonna get the break from him, so that's why I say you should just prioritize Topaz and do like Mono Fire if you have Himeko as well. So those are the team comps I recommend. You can see this is my Himeko. I'll just go through quickly, which I said I'm not running, but if you're gonna do Mono Fire, you can use that's free to play option and not that well built. 2-piece set, like that. But yeah, those are like some things I recommend. Anyways, don't really want to go through everything I said, but I just gave some suggestions. And with that in mind, let's just go through the sides now. I will move myself over as well, so you guys can see I mainly do it so you can see how much energy I have.
I'll be taking point.
In terms of starting here, you're use Black Swans and then use Acherons, because Kafka and Gallagher both attack the enemy. Just focus the Dinosaur for your damage.
Relax.
In the mood for another
I weep
meeting?
for the departed. It too shall fall. Say bye to breathing. Free will, or was it good times? Never time to say bye. Boom.
You can break
For oblivion.
you, that's fine.
Stand still.
Memories of beneath the waters lies an endless abyss.
That's all you got?
I weep
And
for
then
the
just
departed.
Acheron. Basically, this team, you're basically attacking with Black Swan and Gallagher, always scaling with Kafka. Acheron, and you can use Gallagher's skill if you need to heal someone in a pinch. Otherwise, yeah, you can also sometimes use Black Swan's skill, especially like right now I can.
Still waters of oblivion.
Executing annihilation. Calculating result.
And we get so much energy, like you can just ult with Gallagher for extra break too.
Indulge yourselves!
Doesn't really matter. Like you can see how much we break Swarog. Just focus Swarog.
Free will, or was it fate? Destined for oblivion. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. Good times. Time to say bye.
Honestly, it really does not matter if Gallagher gets hit, especially if you're running his personal light
Destiny is
cone,
apparent.
like the one with his face on it for the 4-star, because it will just heal him.
Stand still.
Reinforcing. Analysis complete. Nice second, my friends. Indulge yourselves! High-risk individual.
And it captures Gallagher, like whatever.
Say bye to breathing.
Does not matter at all.
I weep for the departed.
My team, Tingyun, and this team is very straightforward to play.
Another journey begins. Still waters of oblivion.
Destiny is apparent.
We'll just hit you because you have
Memories
your gauge
of
stacks,
beneath the
but
waters
we really
lies an
didn't.
endless abyss.
And we'll hit Kafka's ult here.
Annihilation.
Good times. Time to say bye.
This will pop all the dots on Swarog.
In the mood for another beat?
May as well kill them all. Free will, destined for oblivion. Stand still. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
That's all you got?
Then we're just gonna get another turn here. We don't need it for the healing. It's just because Swarog's almost dead. No point in just holding it.
Calculating result.
Good times. Time to say bye. Boom.
Analysis complete.
Retribution. Memories are beneath the waters lies an endless abyss.
Say bye to breathing. Still waters of oblivion.
Ill tidings manifest.
No. Oh, we could have finished it a cycle quicker. I didn't spam Acheron's ult fast enough. That's my bad. This should have taken a cycle faster. I didn't spam Acheron's ult fast enough. But yeah, make sure if you're like that close and you are like actually pinched for cycles, you're spamming. You should be able to get it done in 3 cycles. I should actually be at 27. In terms of this team comp, everything, just spam all their techniques and then end with Clara's.
Dangerous thoughts.
Actually, you can't see my energy. I thought it was. There we go. I apologize. I should have looked. This team comp, just use Robin's skill when it runs out of points. Again, this guy applies so many dots on you, it's very annoying you. So hopefully you have an ER rope on Lynx. That's the ideal situation, which I mean I do. You should be running an ER rope. Using Natasha's light cone also gives you more ER, and because of this particular MoC increases your or gives you energy after like every stacks or whatever, then you should have your ult often enough to cleanse your team. You should really use it. Person with cleanse on this team, or if you just have good enough shields, you don't need a cleanser.
Easy, Numby.
We're actually gonna burn this guy as quick as possible. You're gonna be using Topaz's skill every time for this particular
The market is unpredictable. Right. Investing in victory
side because Topaz is the main damage dealer. But yeah, when you also start battle, make sure you're spamming Topaz's ult, because after she uses her technique and she attacks once, she gains 60 energy, which completely fills up her ultimate bar. So you want to make sure you actually get it for Numby's first attack.
Annihilate.
we're gonna need to use... Okay, don't use Robin's ult immediately here. We gotta heal everyone. With Lynx.
I want to protect everyone too. Help me, Mr. Sora.
Actually... Excuse me, I should not have used Claire's ult yet. I should have actually held on to it because of Robin's ultimate, we're gonna buff everyone's turn up, and we're gonna waste a turn with Lynx.
Evaluation begin. Liquidation.
Now we're gonna use Robin's ultimate.
Hide.
Easy, Numby. Go, Numby. The market is unpredictable.
The E2 did infect here because I just got Topaz's ult. With a E2 I wouldn't have it right now.
Mission command.
So what we're gonna do is just gonna auto attack with Lynx, and then we'll just immediately ult so we can cleanse Topaz and also heal her.
Pretty good perk. Whip it, Trip. I want to protect everyone too. Help me, Mr. Sora.
I'm really not preaching what I'm saying. Don't do it, and I do. I just see ult and I hit it. You shouldn't have used ult on Clara there.
Easy, Numby. Liquidation. The market is unpredictable. Right. Investing in victory means playing the long game.
We can just basic attack with Clara.
Mission command.
Okay, so we just basic attack with Robin and then immediately ult.
Stars echo.
Luckily, if Topaz is like CC'd, Numby still attacks. That's one of the good things with this team comp. That's why this team comp is specifically called Topaz and Numby, because their turn orders are actually different.
Go, Numby. I'm not afraid of
Annihilate.
liquidation. Right.
You can just spam Topaz's ult whenever it's on. Up, as long as you don't have any stacks up, which most likely won't have any stacks unless you're E6, which may be possible that you don't have stacks, but you're E6, like.
Hide.
I want to protect everyone. Help me, Mr. Sora. I think something's
Mission
happening.
command.
I hope for an end to press all together.
You should actually be able to win here. Because...
To travel.
Okay, maybe not. You need one more turn. I thought maybe Clara would actually be able to kill him.
Much better.
We're just gonna finish up now, though. We might be able to finish the turn early as well, because... Topaz got crowd controlled, so she didn't get her turn. But it's fine. We got in 23 cycles, which is still higher than 20 cycles. And even again, we actually should be able to do this turn faster because I messed up with the Acheron side. And I ended up taking 4 turns instead of 3, or 4 cycles instead of 3 cycles. But it's completely fine again. So yeah, with that in mind, I hope this video helped you either give you a team or give you an idea what team comp to run. If you don't have the characters I have, or at least the characters I have built. And yeah, I hope to see you at a different video of mine.